Union address.
President Trump's address did nothing, House Democratic leader Hakeem Jeffries says, to make a case to the American people.
He's falling apart. His poll numbers are an extinction level event.
Speaking at a Democratic retreat in Virginia, caucus chairman Pete Aguilar says if Democrats win back control, investigations into the Trump administration are likely.
But let's just say, with the Trump administration, when it comes to oversight and accountability, it is a target-rich environment.
Still, the midterm focus, Democratic leaders say, is on affordability and plans to bring down cost.
Fox's Jared Halpern at the White House. Dozens of Democrats did not attend the State of the Union, and some went to protest events instead, including one with people in frog suits criticizing the swamp.
I think that what's going on is that people are dancing around with frogs and dancing around the facts because they don't like the facts. So the facts are that President Trump is creating a golden age.
White House National Economic Council Director Kevin Hassett optimistic about growth and defending an agenda the president will take on the road again with a Texas visit planned on Friday. The nominee for Surgeon General defending herself and the health secretary's vision at a Senate confirmation hearing.
Nothing is more urgent than restoring wholeness for Americans, physically, mentally, and societally. We are now the most chronically ill, high-income nation in the world.
Casey Means is an author, Stanford medical grad, and wellness influencer.
Critics say she's unproven, not currently practicing medicine. They're also concerned about financial ties to the commercial wellness industry, as well as posts made on social media.
Fox's Mark Meredith. Means says it's time to re-examine the approach to health, but she denies being anti-vaccine. The Dow up 307 at the bell. America is listening to Fox News.
Are you 50 or older? This news is for you. The CDC recommends you get vaccinated against pneumococcal pneumonia. Even if you're healthy, your age puts you at risk. People 50 or older are over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia compared to adults 18 to 49. Just one shot can help protect you. Learn more and schedule at vaxassist.com. That's VAXassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Did you know GoodRx can help you save on medication, manage prescriptions, and get trusted health information? If you're one of the millions living with a heart condition, check GoodRx for an easier, more affordable way to manage your health. GoodRx offers common heart medications for under $30. Just search for your prescription, find the best price, then show your pharmacist the GoodRx coupon. And it works whether you have insurance or not. To start saving and better manage your heart health, download the free app or visit GoodRx.com today. GoodRx is not insurance but can be used instead of insurance, including Medicare and other federal and state-funded programs.
The former LA fire chief files a lawsuit against the Los Angeles mayor in the aftermath of a deadly wildfire.
The former fire chief, Kristen Crowley, is now suing LA Mayor Karen Bass, claiming Bass, quote, orchestrated a campaign of retaliation against her after Crowley called attention to budget cuts and staffing issues that might have contributed to the inadequate readiness for and response to the fire that ripped through LA's Pacific Palisades neighborhood. The lawsuit alleges that Bass, quote, sought to avoid accountability by shifting blame and lying. Through a statement from her senior advisor, Bass said the lawsuit has no merit.
Fox's Jonathan Hunt in L.A. Bass had praised Crowley for the initial fire response, but later fired her. The mayor has also faced questions over changes to an after-action report on wildfire response. A deadly incident off the coast of Cuba, where officials say the Cuban Coast Guard shot at a boat registered in Florida, claiming someone on the boat had opened fire, wounding the Cuban captain. After being approached for identification, 4 people on the boat were killed, 6 others wounded. There's a dog treat recall over possible contamination.
The FDA says Florida-based Elite Treats is recalling one of its 6-ounce chicken chips for dogs distributed to feed stores across Alabama, Florida, Georgia, North Carolina, and South Carolina. Third-party testing found salmonella in a related but unreleased lot of the treats. Infected pets may appear lethargic or have diarrhea, fever, or vomiting, although some animals show no symptoms and can still spread the dangerous bacteria. The recalled bags have the lot number 24045 with an April 2027 expiration date.
Fox's Carmen Roberts, the FDA urging people to toss out those bags. Again, the Dow finishing up more than 300 points, the NASDAQ up 288. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News.
The Drive with Curtis Allen and Evan Stone on ESPN 93.5.
I played volleyball in high school.
Hello, ladies.
Yeah.
Were you a forward?
I was a libero.
A what?
Come again?
Libero.
You know I don't speak Spanish.
A libero?
Yeah. You only play in the back row.
So no bump
Not the
sack
tallest
kill.
guy.
No. You're really there to protect the line.
I was just passing, yeah.
You're so wise.
Have we talked about your glory days of sports?
I don't think so.
Not like we do with Evan, huh?
No.
How much you want to make a bet I can throw a football over the mountains?
Yeah, that was the only sport I played in high school. I mean, growing up, baseball was definitely my number one, but...
Yeah. So how did you discover volleyball? So I'm really intrigued by this.
Yeah, my dad coaches. My hometown has 2 high schools. He coaches boys volleyball at one of them and then girls volleyball at another.
Okay. Wait, what's your hometown?
Palatine, Illinois.
You're from Palatine. So somewhere right now, there's some kid in Palatine going, that freaking Cooper O'Kelly only made the team because his dad was the coach.
Different.
I could have been a superstar volleyball player.
No.
You better believe things would have been different. I'd have gone pro in a heartbeat. I'd be making millions of dollars. And
He coached boys at my rival high school, so he was not my coach.
Living in a big old mansion somewhere, soaking it up in a hot tub with my soulmate.
Soaking it up, baby. That's what could be happening for some poor soul in Palatine right now. Talking about those glory days. Palatine, the home of the nephew Cooper O'Kelly. It's ESPN Radio 93.5. This is The Drive. I'm Curtis Allen. Evan Stone, among the living, back in the studio, man. Good to see you.
Yeah, so funny story with that intro. Last night, I watched Napoleon Dynamite with my boys for the first time.
Yeah.
And I was so nervous going into it, and about halfway through it, I was like, "Wait, what do you guys think?"
They're gonna hate it.
And they were like, they were rolling. They thought it was hilarious.
That's good, man.
So I've done something good as a parent, at least one thing.
I think that was my senior year or freshman year of college when it came out. So maybe your freshman year of high school.
It was 2003, 2004, 2003, something like that.
Yeah.
And of course, I go to IMDb and you go through all the facts and all that stuff, and it cost them $400,000 to make, and it
now
made $40 million.
Yeah.
And just crazy stuff.
Well, that's another thing. Like, it was such a big deal when it came out 20 some years ago. And so that is a thing, if it's something that meant a lot to you when you were younger and you try to introduce it, whether that's to your kids or a friend or somebody that missed it, and they're like,
Well, because I tried over Christmas break, we tried Nacho Libre, and it didn't connect with them.
Oh.
Like, it just, same director.
Yeah.
Hess.
Yep.
Hess. And didn't connect, which I read in that
in the IMDb.
You got Jack Black.
Jack Black.
I still got my brain still waking up.
What is? You're a little under the weather. It's coming out of it.
My brain's still waking up. Jack Black was originally supposed to play the Kung Fu Rex or Taekwondo Rex in Napoleon Dynamite.
Yes.
But he didn't, and then he ended up doing Nacho Libre instead. So
that all worked out.
Worked out. So no, good stuff. Thanks for holding it down.
Hey,
apparently
no
only one day, because Monday everything was broken.
Well, we had some technical difficulties Monday, and so we do appreciate everybody that was patient with us, because we know that. And when I got here, the text lines were getting crazy. Hey, by the way, if people are texting in right now, it's working. We're back to 100%. I don't want to jinx anything. So Benny, Jay Money, Lindy, everybody that was texting in yesterday and has just started to text in, we got you. We're back. But that was another thing. So yesterday we get back in here. It's like we have to do a show. There were so many people that were fired up about the Illini loss to UCLA. We got to get back in here. And, you were sick, which is a bummer. I'm glad it's been bad, dude. I talked with Kyle Toss the other day, the great one. He got it. He got hit pretty hard with the flu, too. And
yeah. It's everywhere, man.
It is. It hit my kiddos earlier in the winter, and I got it a little bit. But digressing from the point, is like let's just we'll focus on the text line, and me and you talking to Coop. I was like, me and you will be good, and we'll let Evan rest, and then the text line
doesn't work.
The text line didn't work, and that was not our fault. That was on the software side of things with our provider, and they were working very hard. They got it fixed, but once they got it fixed, it was literally at the end of the show at 6 o'clock last night. And so then I get out to my car, and I start to get all these notifications on my phone. It's just bzz, 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 and it's just text rolling in, dozens and dozens and dozens of texts.
You get them on your phone?
Yeah, there's a whole app that you can. I thought we talked about this once. There's a whole app that you can download.
I tell you what, if you were a real one, while the text line was down, you would have just given out your number.
Yeah.
And let people text you personally.
Yeah, it is. I thought about that, too. I was like, why would I do that, though, when we've got Coop the intern here and he can just give out his number to people?
Yeah.
So if you're trying to text in and you were frustrated yesterday or you really wanted to vent on Monday, good news, we're back to full strength.
Yeah.
And you didn't get a chance to share your thoughts on Saturday's loss. So I want to open it up with you getting back in the studio, Evan, and just kind of what you saw Saturday night. And I'll preface this. I don't know if you got to listen much yesterday. I know you were resting. But I had a daddy-daughter dance with Emerson on Saturday. And like a lot of the dads, like at dinner or right when it started, we're checking our phones. And we're like, okay, they're up 23. The Illini are up 23 right now. They're cruising along. I was like, yeah, put the phone away and just dance with the kiddo and have a good time. And then once we got home, the first thing I hear when I opened the door, Tyson had the TV on, is Humrick House for 3 to tie it at 84. And I went, what happened? Not only did he tie it, they were losing. What the heck? So go ahead, sir.
So it was your fault.
No, it's not my fault.
That's what I'm hearing. It was all the dads at the daddy-daughter dance.
No.
Turning their phones off.
Maybe it was.
Yeah, it was one of those games where, they jump out to the 33-10 lead, and I almost texted my buddy Ravi from Her Dad Sports, like, this team is just a wagon, bro. Like, they cannot, they're so – and I was like, you know what? I'm going to hold off.
Yeah, don't do that.
I'm not going to text. We're just going to let this thing play out. And then when they were able to get it within 10 – at halftime, that's what I oh boy,
yeah,
this is tough, and the second half was what it was. Keaton came alive in the second half, was enough to keep us in it, but really it was just that last 4 seconds, and UCLA going right down the court, and every single guy on the floor. Which I know that now we are 4 days post.
Right.
A lot of people have digested this whole thing and they've torn it to pieces, but ultimately it looked like everyone was just so afraid of fouling that they let the guy just run straight down the floor. You've got one of the best shot blockers in the nation, if not the best shot blocker in the Big Ten.
Yeah.
Standing at the hoop and kind of just jumps up, straight up, so afraid to not foul. And you give pretty much a wide open layup to lose. Now, the game is what the game is. I wanted to take a step back and really start to think, okay, what's the point? Like, what is this? Win that game, lose that game. I don't know if it really does anything to change your looking at the regular season Big Ten championship.
Sure.
I think that was already gone before that game even tipped off. Okay. Now. Everything looks to March. So everything is a learning experience for what could happen in March. Now you get to a Sweet 16, an Elite 8 game. You've got a 1-point lead with 6 seconds left. Okay, guys, we've been here. We saw what happened in LA. Now here's what we're going to do differently. Here's how we are going to approach this. I don't know how much it does. The most dangerous thing that loss does is maybe it gets you out of that St. Louis, Chicago, Indianapolis path.
That's what we're talking about now. Now you're looking at a team that's on the line between being – look, they win Friday night at home against Michigan. You're a lock at 2. You're a 2 seed.
Yep.
But you get beat, and now you've lost 4 out of 6, including 3 real – I mean, we'll see what happens Friday, but – they'd all be very difficult losses to digest for this team.
Yeah.
You're probably sitting at a 3 seed, and your opponent in the round of 32, if you get there, is going to be a lot more difficult. And dude, there were so many "it's over, season's over." We saw a lot of those texts when they rolled in Monday.
Really?
Yeah. But that was the great irony of radio, is that we could see all the text on Monday, but then the other equipment was down. But there was a whole lot of they're going to be a one and done, or they're going to end up in the round of 32 and they're going to get bounced, and like the sky was falling kind of thing.
Yeah.
If you win the Big Ten tournament, does anybody care about this? No. Or if you make a deep run in the NCAA tournament, does anybody, so I'm right there with you. The sky is not falling. This is still a really, really, really good team.
You've got,
and winning cures all.
Yeah. You've got 3 Big Ten losses in overtime. 2 Big Ten buzzer beating losses. Like you're doing fine.
Well, now to that point, let me play devil's advocate. How is that not just a crippling thing for a team to go through? How does that not affect your psyche? How does this keep happening?
Yeah.
That's a lot of their questions that have been asked. That's a lot of it right there.
Yeah. This just doesn't feel like a team where the psyche or the mental effect of it bothers them. Where if they find themselves in an overtime game, they're going to be stressing, oh my gosh, we haven't won any of these. It just doesn't feel like a team, like an environment like that. Each of those overtime games were very different in how they played out, and how you got to overtime. They were very different. And I just don't think that's an issue for this team. Now, what it is an issue for this team is jumping out to a 23-point lead and then not putting the team away, or thinking maybe, we got this. Especially coming off of the USC win where you dominated, came out and punched them right in the mouth, and maybe a little bit of thought of, this is the same team. We just did this. It's the same team. All right, let's ride. And that obviously wasn't the case. So
it was not.
No, that wasn't a good thing. So no, I think you learn from this. Yeah, you're right. If you even if you lose to Michigan on Friday and go win the Big Ten tournament, I think people are looking at this like pretty dope.
Yeah.
You know?
Mm-hmm. I'm with you. 217-359-2255. That's your number for the Max Twin City Recycling text line. Feel free to chime in. Finish your thought there, Evan.
Well, I was just saying, Michigan's really good.
Yeah. I mean, we're a national title contender. They're in the talk. They're in the mix.
They're very, very good. And so Friday is going to be incredibly difficult. So, but you got a chance, man. You got one of, if not the best team in the nation coming to your place Friday night. What is it, 7 o'clock tip?
7 o'clock tip.
National time.
National broadcast. I know you giggle at me when I say that, but is it on Fox, I think, on Friday night?
It's Jason Benetti and Bill Raftery.
There you go.
I think. Is
Legends.
that who's showing up? Like, it's a big deal. So
get out the onions.
I've never seen this many in my time doing this show. I've never seen this many Illini texts into the line.
Oh, my goodness. You talk about,
to get tickets.
Yeah. So sold out, obviously, and if you want to get tickets, you already know what to do. We've been doing this for the last few months. If you want to get in the running and try to score, we've only got a few pairs left, but you could be there for free Friday night, courtesy of Jets Pizza and Parlor Donuts. Just text Illini to 217-359-2255, ILLINI to 217-359-2255. And here's the lineup for today. We'll get into the Illini headlines in just a moment, and there's plenty of football talk to get to, which will be a part of the headlines, and the NFL Combine underway, but Dave Wisnowski is going to join us in about 10 minutes. Dave, a legend that has spent a long time in his career covering the Illini. He had a couple of interesting thoughts on Twitter I want to ask him about, and one of them was he felt like the game was over at the half, and I'm curious what he meant by that. So I want to talk with him about that as well. Carson Bounds from Orange and Blue News. He does a great job covering Illinois as well. He's coming up at about an hour from now. We'll throw some curveballs at you as well. Evan's back, and I did okay in your absence for Etched in Stone yesterday.
Did you?
I did okay.
All
All right. We'll talk about that later. We don't need to get into it now. I saw one text that said they were hoping that I was going to jinx Michigan like I jinxed UConn. But yeah. And also, now, here we are a few days removed from the Bears are going to Indiana. I saw somebody text in a photo of the Indiana Bears T-shirt. I'm sorry I lost that wherever it went. But now Governor Pritzker came out, I believe it was this morning, and said that there's a framework in place for the Bears to be in Arlington Heights. One way or another, here's what I know. The Bears aren't going to be in Chicago anymore. They're going to be, in the future, they're going to be playing somewhere other than Soldier Field in Chicago. But now there's this, the sky isn't falling as much anymore. So as the world turns with Chicago Bears and stadium talk, and Carson Gordy was on with us yesterday. He talked with the mayor of Arlington Heights.
Oh.
Uh-huh. And this is before Pritzker came out this morning and said anything about a framework being in place. But Carson said, or asked the mayor, you seem very sure about this. Why do you seem so sure about the Bears coming to Arlington Heights instead of Indiana? And he goes, because Governor Pritzker is an ambitious man that wants to be president, and he knows this would be a good thing.
Wow.
I was like, well, that's
All
a
right.
quote right there, baby. So Carson's working on the story. He's talking with Cam Buckner, too, about it. And our guy Carson Gordy is working on a story for WICS TV. So looking forward to that. But, yeah, we got a lot to get to, including your text, 217-359-2255. Love to hear from you on the text line. And, yes, I see all of them. I see everybody texting in Illini right now. It's so nice that it's working again.
Yeah.
You know who's not trying to win win tickets? Our guy, Big Def. He wants to welcome you back on the text line. But Big Def, he sent in, did you see the video he sent in of him listening to us while he was shoveling 30 inches of snow out there in Pennsylvania?
No.
Yeah, he sent it to us on Instagram.
He was listening to us?
Yeah, he was listening to us. It looked like he had his headphones in or his earbuds or whatever while he was using a snowblower. And I made me feel humble. I was like, man, this guy's he's really a fan of our show. If he's going to put him... I
appreciate it.
If that's what you're listening to while you're fighting a massive blizzard, bless you, Big Def. But, yeah, he was welcoming you back on the text line. I don't know if you got a chance to see that one.
I did see some of that. He's trying to get a partnership and quit his job and move over here.
There you go.
Just do that. Yeah, no, appreciate that. And then Michael from Charleston texted in something big I want to get to before we catch this little moment. The finish was the same thing that happened against Tennessee last year. It was the same thing. Tennessee down one. You hit the free throws to take the lead. They go right down the floor, get a layup. Yep. He says, didn't Brad learn anything from that loss? Here's what I will say is I would love to go back and look at the final play at Tennessee, final play UCLA. Did they run the same scheme, same defense? I don't know. I'd have to go back and look. What I do know is that the players that were on the floor, UCLA, only one of them was on the floor, Tennessee. So as a coach, I mean, yeah, you scheme it up differently.
It's pretty telling, though.
You scheme it up. If they're running a different defense, you can only do so much with your guys.
Yeah.
And I have to imagine there was something coming out of the huddle. Don't foul.
Don't foul.
Guys, don't foul.
Don't foul, Dent.
And maybe that was the last thing that got in their head. And you can kind of see it. You can see Kylan. You can see Andre, and especially Z, just a little afraid to get in front to stop ball.
Yeah, Z wasn't trying to foul anybody in front of the rim on that last play. He wasn't.
Which at that point, if he's getting all the way to the rim,
big trouble, man.
You make him earn it at the free throw line.
That's and I'm right there. I'm right there with you. But again, it was anything that was going right in the first half went wrong once UCLA made that late run in the first half. And to be shooting the lights out like you were and then to end up going, 2 for 22 the rest of the way for 3 or something like that? And that's...
I will say, Michael had 2 more questions. Why not the flip side of those questions?
What questions, sir?
Well, he says, this loss tells every team that no matter if you're down 20 points, Illinois can blow that lead. Why not the flip side? This loss tells us that even if we're up 20 points, we got to keep our foot on the gas. We got to keep going.
Yeah.
Why not have that be the lesson that is learned? It gives hope to teams you don't want to give hope to, or it gives fire in the belly of a team that you don't want to give fire in the belly to.
Here is a positive, if there's anything out of this, was the week you have, before you get to Michigan on Friday night. That has proved to be invaluable to this team in particular, a team that's running with at most 7 guys. That's been the rotation for the most part this year, has been 7 guys. And when they've had the opportunity to have an extended break, 4 or 5 days, in this case 6, 7, right? It's done them well. So a lot of time to rest, get healthy, recharge, and break down some film and some hopefully there's something positive for Illini fans on Friday night. We're going to talk with Dave Wisnowski about all this next. Dave has had a lot of thoughts on Saturday and Sunday about the loss, and I'm sure he will have plenty of thoughts about the game against Michigan. We'll do that next on The Drive.
Got a plumbing, heating, cooling, electrical, or sewer problem? Look no further than Fred's Plumbing, Heating, Air Conditioning, and Electric. Locally owned and trusted, Fred's team of professionals is ready to tackle projects both big and small. Why waste time and money on complicated DIY fixes? Fred's experienced team will get the job done right, saving you time, stress, and cash. And when it comes to sewer problems, make sure you call Fred's for a second opinion you can trust. At Fred's, they do it all. No project too big, no project too small. They do insulation, repairs, replacement, and maintenance. And they now offer service agreements. For reliable service, professional expertise, and solutions that work, call Fred's Plumbing, Heating, Air Conditioning, and Electric today. 217-586-3863. Or go to fredscu.com. You can always trust Fred's.
I'm very honored to have Brittany Algie in my studio. She's advanced practice registered nurse specializing in behavioral health at OSF Healthcare Sacred Heart in Urbana. Now has several options for inpatient, outpatient behavioral health, offering medication management and therapy to treat depression, anxiety, bipolar, schizophrenia, PTSD, and more. Isn't it? You have to kind of agree you kind of need to talk to somebody?
Absolutely.
How do you get to that?
Being honest and doing a self-check-in about how you feel. Checking in with your emotions, seeing like, am I okay? Because a lot of times we're highly functioning, feeling depressed, we're feeling overwhelmed, and we don't take a minute to just pause and actually see how we're feeling.
But so stigma, Brittany, you don't want to talk to somebody because then they'll think you're crazy.
Well, there's no such thing as crazy. So there's nothing wrong with asking for help because life is always going to be challenging. There's always going to be stressors that come along.
So we commend you and
Thank you.
Somebody who loves what they do. So I'm going to give out your number.
Behavioral health professionals, OSF Healthcare Sacred Heart Urbana, 217-337-4310.
This is the Our Idea is Ready to Launch vision. This is the Create Great Jobs vision. This is the We Need More Space vision. This is Busey, where your business visions become realizations. Through securing capital for growth and comprehensive strategies that ensure a prosperous future. Because thriving businesses mean thriving people and thriving communities. Busey Bank, building business, growing wealth since 1868. Member FDIC.
PDR Automotive in Urbana is a locally owned repair shop, and they've now serviced over 250,000 vehicles in their near 50-year history. Now, that's more than 4 times the size of a sold-out Memorial Stadium. It's more than all Division I athletes in the country combined. That's more than the entire population of Champaign County. That's more than, well, you get the idea. When you turn the key and the car won't run, call 367-9481. They are what's best for your truck or car. They are PDR.
The Drive with Curtis Allen and Evan Stone on ESPN 93.5.
Welcome back into The Drive, ESPN Radio 93.5. I'm Curtis Allen, a healthy Evan Stone back in the studio. You look good. You feeling good, sir?
We're there.
We're there, man. Somebody else who's always feeling good. At least when he talks with us, it seems like he's feeling good. Maybe not so much after Saturday's loss, but maybe he's feeling a bit more positive headed into Friday night. You know what I'm talking about?
I mean, it's a rough place to feel more positive headed into, but we'll see.
Okay, well, we'll find out. Dave Wisnowski is on the Dick Van Dyke Appliance World phone line with us. Dave, how you doing, man?
I'm doing well. I'm feeling pretty good today. I don't know if I'm still over that loss from the weekend, but I'm recovering from it.
Well, I want to ask you right out the gate, and I don't mean to start negative, but you had a couple of thoughts that you tweeted out the other night. One of them was the game was lost in the first half and arguably in that last minute. And I am not disagreeing with you when you look at the run that UCLA went on. But just to start, can you kind of expound on that and what you meant by that?
I thought Illinois was so passive with the last. They had the ball there, with under a minute left, and they just seemed like they went lackadaisically down and didn't even get a shot off. It didn't seem like they really even tried to get a shot off, and then turn around and UCLA gets the ball and then gets fouled and hit some free throws. So and obviously those points ended up mattering when you've got an overtime game. Every point matters when you go to overtime. So it just felt like that first half, Illinois got to such a great start. UCLA obviously turned it around and went on that incredible run. But Illinois still felt in control, I felt, at the end of the half.
Okay.
And then that faded a little bit with the way that they handled. I thought that just last 2 possessions there just were not handled well at all. And it set a bad tone for the rest of the game is really kind of the feeling I had. You could look at a lot of things that lost the game, but that was just a bad sequence in particular to me, the end of the first half.
Yeah, is there something within this that is more than just, it was one game where concerning things happened, but that's college basketball sometimes? Or is there something that you saw in that you're like, ooh, man, I didn't know that this was really a part of this team, that now I'm worried about going into March?
I mean, I think there's a concern that Illinois's got to do something with the defensive strategy against guards that can penetrate. We've seen it with Dent from UCLA. We obviously saw it with Fears, and we saw it with Boyd from Wisconsin. And now, Kylan wasn't around for a couple of those games, but he was for this one. I still don't know if what they're doing defensively is quite right. That said, Kylan was out for a stretch with the blow to the face in this game. And again, it was an overtime game. Illinois still could have pulled that out, so maybe a possession here or there. But I think that's something that remains a concern. Does Illinois have the defensive chops to win 6 games straight in March? I don't know. I think they can. I think they got the talent to do it, but can they do it? And I think that's the biggest question mark that's still out there for this team.
Well, Dave, one can't grieve forever, so let's turn the page as we should do and look ahead to Friday night, where it doesn't get any easier by any stretch. Arguably the biggest game of the year for the Illini. Michigan coming to town. Big Ten title, I would say, not really in play at this point, right? But it's still a big deal and a huge, huge game. So what adjustments, I mean, it's easy to say, they just got to play better defense, but were there specific things where you say we have to make adjustments here if you're Brad Underwood and the Illini, especially with this roster coming to town on Friday?
Yeah, I think the keys for the game really are, and I'm excited for this game on Friday night. I'll be down there, and I can't wait. I had it marked on the calendar for a long time. Mm-hmm. And I think of all the bad feelings for UCLA, Illinois beats Michigan, and those go out the door. You're feeling really good about things again and where Illinois can go in March. And I think they have a great chance of winning this game. I think keys for it, I feel like rebounding is going to be huge in this game. Illinois has to win the battle of the boards, at least be right there even. They can't get beat on the boards. Illinois is going to have to knock down three-pointers, and they're going to have to try and limit the perimeter a little bit for Michigan, too. I think the Illini are one of the only rosters out there that really have the size to compete with Michigan, and I feel optimistic going in this game. It's a huge one, but I really think rebounding and then knocking down threes are going to be big aspects, in addition, obviously, having to play some defense.
Well, you bring up rebounding, which is obviously it's huge for this Illini team. I feel like there's been several games this year, though, that when they go up against another team that is physical and big and long, they kind of shy away from winning that rebound battle. And you saw it in Michigan State. I think you saw it a little bit with Texas Tech. But, I mean, what do you think they can – I don't even know how to ask this question because Michigan is such a loaded team coming in here. And I know they looked human against Minnesota. I know they dropped the game against Duke. But they're such a complete team. What do you have to do other than rebounding to defeat them on Friday night?
Yeah, I think to your point about coming against really physical teams, the Illini, obviously, we hear all season they're the tallest team in the country, and they are, and that helps a lot with rebounding. But are they as tough as they are tall? We don't maybe see that all the time, the physicality, and I think it's going to be really interesting. Merez Johnson is a physical guy. He's obviously going to have a lot of attention on him in the game from the crowd on Friday night. It's going to be interesting with that. And I think the Illini, as again, they've got to knock down the three-pointers in this game. I know they're going to shoot a lot of them, and they need one of those games where they're really hitting. I think these two teams match up really well with each other. It's going to come down to the little things in this, and the crowd's going to be into it. The thing is that Illinois doesn't seem to play quite as well at home for whatever reason. Often they often play better on the road, so they need to show up for a big home game. And I think if they can hit their threes, I love the chance. Illinois is a really, really difficult team to beat if they're shooting well, and hopefully Friday night's a night that they're shooting well.
ESPN Radio 93.5, it is The Drive. I'm Curtis Allen. That is Evan Stone. Our guy Dave Wisnowski on the Dick Van Dyke Appliance World phone line. Dave has covered Illini athletics for a long time. Always a pleasure to speak with you. Dave, you mentioned Merez Johnson, and the offense is going to run through the backcourt as well of Michigan. I mean, they are a complete team at all 5 spots, but can you speak to their backcourt and Elliot Cadeau and who I would imagine is going to see a lot of Kylan Boswell on Friday night?
I would think he would. That coming into the season, I knew Michigan was going to be loaded up front with Lendenberg, Merez, and Mara. I had questions about their backcourt, whether it was going to be up to snuff in the same level that the front court is. But those guys have been good. I mean, they've got 4 guys. If you throw in, Cadeau, McKinney, Burnett, and Kaysen, that are all shooting close to 40% from 3-point range. So that's a lot of guys to defend. Now, Illinois is healthy. I hope Cowan's okay from the blow to the head and everything. But I think you're going to see a lot of him on Cadeau. We need Stojakovic. I hope his ankle's feeling all right, too, because they're going to have to defend on the perimeter, and Keaton's going to have to show up on the perimeter defensively as well, too. So it is a complete team Michigan has. The backcourt's better than I thought it was going to be, and it's good. And obviously that front court's just a load.
Yeah, they average. So you look at the backcourt and you look at kind of the assist numbers. They average almost 20 assists per game, which is something that's a little concerning. But then on the flip side, they also average over 12 turnovers per game. And so if you can limit some of those assists, and I know Illinois doesn't create a ton of turnovers, but if you can allow Michigan to turn the ball over, this is where I think crowd and home court advantage can really come into play. I do think you got a puncher's chance, and like you said, just hit threes. So you get Jake, Ben, and Z to hit, let me get 60% of their threes. I think they win this game.
I'm with you. If we can get that, I think I like the Illinois chances. And it's going to be a fun game. I know the crowd is going to really be into it, and it's going to be an intense atmosphere. I think the most intense atmosphere that Michigan has played in yet this season. So we'll see how they handle it. It's going to be a fun one.
Dave, you mentioned you're coming to town on Friday. Are you just coming to check it out as a spectator, or are you going to, maybe write a little something? You're going to do some live tweeting? How are you going to be digesting the game on Friday?
I'll be down there just as a spectator, but I'm sure I'll be live tweeting during the game, and I'm sure I'll have some thoughts afterwards as well too that I'll be sharing on Twitter. I'm meeting up with a buddy of mine from high school who actually lives in Leroy these days, so we haven't seen each other for a while. So both really looking forward to going to the game. So definitely people can check me out on Twitter. I'm sure I'll have some thoughts during the game. It's going to be loud in there, but I guess that doesn't matter when I'm posting online, right?
Hey, as long as the Wi-Fi is working, you know what I mean?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
that's the only question. Hopefully State Farm Center is better than Memorial is at times. So as long as I've got Wi-Fi signal, I'm sure I'll be sending out some tweets.
How confident are you? Let me take big picture here. Step back. Which team, as we get to Big Ten tournament time, which team other than Michigan do you not want to see early in the Big Ten tournament?
That's a good question. I mean, I think the next best team to me really is. I think Nebraska is. I know they haven't been playing quite as well, but to me, Purdue just isn't quite as good this year as they have been. Now they're a dangerous team, but I think I'd like to avoid Nebraska for a little bit. With a rubber match between the two, could be a tough one for the Illini. But I also feel like Illinois can beat every team. I think they could. We'll see what happens with Michigan on Friday, but I wouldn't fear playing them again. And if Illinois could somehow beat Michigan twice, I think Illinois still got a chance to improve their seed by quite a bit. And I think possibly with so many teams in the top 10, there are kind of question marks about where they're going to fall. I think the conference tournaments could end up actually meaning more for seeding this season than they have in years past.
Yeah, I've been kind of following that just a little bit, and everything seems there's no team that is running away with the field this year in college basketball.
Mm-hmm.
You've got, the top 3 or 4, and they might be, ahead better than everyone else, but they're pretty jumbled together. And then the next 10 to 12 teams are all right there.
Right.
And so, yeah, I agree. I think conference tournament season is going to do a lot for seeding. And I had a thought.
Mm-hmm.
And it just left me.
You know what? He was just so happy to speak with you, Dave.
I promise.
I do that to people.
I was headed somewhere with that, and we've full disclosure, Dave. The family has had the flu, and this is my first day back amongst living people. And my brain just isn't quite there yet.
It's understandable you'd have some brain fog, then. I think that's completely normal,
Yeah. So, how you doing, bud?
Oh, stop it. Dave, where can they find you on the socials, my man?
You can follow me on Twitter. Be the best place to find me. It's at Wishlist. That's Wish with a C, so WISCH list. And I'm there often, so always good being on with you guys.
Always a pleasure to talk with you. It's going to be 65 and windy, so safe travels down 57 on Friday, okay?
I appreciate the tip. Thanks.
You got it. That is our guy, Dave Wisnowski, on the Dick Van Dyke Appliance World phone line. 217-359-2255 is your number for the Max Twin City Recycling text line. Few texts rolling in, and not all of them very happy ones. As you might expect.
I remember what I was going to say.
Oh, what was it? Maybe I can answer it for you. Go
Well,
ahead.
I don't know how much of it is a question, but
Pretend I'm Dave.
Why I think this game on Friday night is so interesting to us as Illinois fans, because it's been a minute since we've played an elite team. I feel like sometimes, we've been playing. You look at UCLA, USC, Northwestern. Before that, there's some Maryland. You're playing a lot of teams. I know Michigan State's thrown in there, but you're playing a lot of teams that almost can get monotonous in a way. When you're like painting a room, and you're like, oh gosh, there's nothing really hard about this, but it sure is boring. You know what I mean? And we haven't played it. You're now playing Michigan. That it's like, oh, this is actually a moment to test ourselves again against the big boys, against the top-notch teams in college basketball. If we're looking at a Sweet 16, Elite 8, Final Four run, this is a big moment.
Sometimes a kick in the butt is what you need to get right and refocus. You don't ever want to get, just kind of set and happy after a win like you had against USC. You still got to run with the big dogs, so to speak, as you just mentioned, and it doesn't get much bigger than Michigan will on Friday. So 217-359-2255. 217 texture, I'm pretty sure we've blown, meaning the Illini, 4 double-digit leads this season, which is why we believe this team just doesn't have the killer mentality to get past 32. Hope we are wrong, but hard to believe. That's our guy, Brian from Tolono.
I understand the sentiment for that text, because the losses always hurt more than the wins.
Yeah.
Feel good, it feels like.
Sure.
But how many games have we just dominated where it's like, oh, they do have the killer mentality? College basketball is a long season.
It's a long season.
So you're going to point 4 double-digit leads lost this season out of how many games have they played now? We're getting close to 30. So sometimes it's just you're playing with college kids and stuff happens, but at the same time, man, just got to get out there and play the game. They've had wins this year that you can look at and you're like, oh, these are some bad dudes.
Yeah.
If they're on, if they're hitting,
watch out, brother.
Watch
out, brother.
Yeah. Oh, another side note, while I was sick, you know what I did?
What?
I started Sopranos.
Yeah.
So I got about 5-6 episodes in.
Nice.
And Cooper called me
Mm-hmm.
or texted me.
Yeah.
And said, hey, if you're sick and you need something to watch, the Puss in Boots sequel is one of the finest movies.
He talked about it the other day.
I've ever seen.
He talked yesterday. He talked about the Puss in Boots, the latest Puss in Boots movie yesterday, and I was like, I go, when did that come out? He's like, I think it was like 4 years ago, but man, it's good. I was like, yeah, I feel like I watched that with my kiddos. It is funny. That's great that he brought that up to you, because he brought it up to me yesterday as well.
Oh yeah, so he texted that, and I said, well, I was watching The Sopranos, and he said, oh, you can take a break, you can mix it in.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, yeah. They are kind of, the main characters are kind of the same person.
When
in a
you
way.
really think about Tony Soprano and Puss in Boots the cat, played by Antonio Banderas, it really is the same man.
Yeah.
Same character. Yeah. 217-359-2255. We'll do some more Illini headlines, throw some curveballs at you. Carson Bounds from Orange and Blue News on the way in the next half hour. So plenty to get to on the drive.
How do you tell the younger ones that you just got to hang in there?
My best advice to the young officers is just be yourself, be able to communicate with people, talk to people, treat people how you want to be treated, and you're going to get that respect back eventually. You earn that respect over time, just doing things the right way.
Chad Burnett is a force at school. What is it about it that you like about the job?
The school resource officer job is great. You just build relationships on a daily basis with students, staff, parents. You're always striving to see that growth in the students. It's a challenge sometimes to see that, but I've been fortunate enough to be there for 6 years now, and I've seen a lot of strides being made within the district and within the building itself. I'd actually like to shout out our administration and our deans. They do a great job of being proactive and staying ahead of any issues we may have, and they work extremely hard.
Officer Chad Burnett, Urbana Police Department, they say humble, kind, fair, patient, trustworthy. Pretty cool.
That's the way I want to be known.
Jesse with Land's Drain Cleaning and Underground Solutions. Hey, do you have sewer blockages, problems? Are your toilets gurgling? Why deal with the headache? Call Land's Drain Cleaning and Underground Solutions today. We can come out and clean your line, camera it, show you what the problem is, and then we have an expert underground team that can make those repairs. 217-355-5512. We are here for you when you need us. Land's Drain Cleaning and Underground Solutions. Why call anyone else?
Looking for a fun and affordable way to spend spring break? Head to the Urbana Indoor Aquatic Center, located at 102 East Michigan Avenue. From March 16th through the 20th, enjoy public swim daily from 1:30 to 5 p.m. Admission is just $6 per swimmer and only $3 for spectators. And a zero-depth pool, perfect for the little ones. While you're there, grab your membership for the outdoor pool and get ready for summer. For more information, call 217-384-7665 or visit urbanaparks.org. From the Urbana Park District, you belong here.
It seems like the cost of everything is on the rise, but Erie Insurance can help make sure your auto insurance premium isn't one of them. Avoid rate increases with Erie Rate Lock. Even if you have a claim, your rates won't go up until you change a car, driver, or address.
Your Erie agent in Champaign is Thomas & Ellers Insurance.
Erie Rate Lock is not available in all states. Other conditions and limitations at erieinsurance.com. Go to erieinsurance.com for company licensure and product details.
Former Illini Terrence Shannon Jr. of the Minnesota Timberwolves about Ben Quattrone from Sarah Champagne. What kind of friend has he been?
Unbelievable. Ever since I came to this dealership, me and Ben had interactions. He's been a great person this whole time. It still is. I always would recommend him to anybody about a car or anything. He's always going to be there for you no matter what. He always be behind you. He's just a great person.
Visit sarahchampagne.com. That's SERRA champagne.com.
The Drive with Curtis Allen and Evan Stone on ESPN 93.5.
Hope you're having a great Wednesday. It's ESPN Radio 93.5. This is The Drive. I'm Curtis Allen. That is Evan Stone. Not too bad out today, man. Some sunshine. We're in the low 50s right now. Good day to be getting over the flu, Evan Stone.
Hello.
How's the brain fog? You doing okay?
Yeah, I have no idea what's happening right now. And now Johnny Camargo's asking me to do math.
Uh-oh. What happened? Johnny Camargo on the text line he did?
Yeah.
Is it a nice math
said,
question or a mean math question?
Did Evan just say if Z, Jake, and Ben hit 60% of their threes, they will win? When have they ever done that? Maybe he wasn't serious or I didn't hear correctly. No, I was serious.
When do they do that?
They are shooting 35% as a team. I believe we would be better off shooting 0 threes. 0. 100% this team is not better off shooting 0 threes.
Wasn't
Just throw that out there.
You miss all the shots you don't take. Was that Jordan or Gretzky or both of them?
You miss at least 78% of the shots you don't take. Michael Jordan, Michael Scott, Wayne Gretzky's in there somewhere. So you got to do some math. I don't actually know how to do math in certain ways, but USC, those three guys went 7 for 12.
Hey, that's
better
pretty
than 50%.
That's better than 50.
Is that close to 60?
It's right there. Yeah.
Do you know?
It has to be.
What is 7 out of 12?
It would be like 14 out of 24.
What? 7 out of 14 is 50%.
I know.
I can do that.
I doubled both numbers is what I did.
Oh, that didn't help me get
No, it didn't.
any sort of an answer.
No, but you're pretty close. You're doing good. You're doing good.
They've been very close to 60%. So, yeah, those guys, those three are absolutely capable of hitting 60% of their threes. So, and if they do that, I don't think anybody's thinking, wow, that would be a bad thing for Illinois against Michigan.
Well, no, it might be a little unexpected. I don't know. It might be. I mean, listen, they're gonna shoot a lot from beyond the arc. We'll see what falls. But
here's the thing with those three.
You don't want to go 2 for 22 though.
No.
You're not going to. Sorry. Go ahead.
Well, here's the thing with those three is if you go back through the box scores for a lot of our games, especially our big wins, 2 of those 3 are going off. 2 of those 3 are hitting their shots. And there's been a few games where all 3 are doing their part. Now, when I throw Z into that mix, I don't want him taking more than 3.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I want him going 1 for 3, 2 for 3. And then I want Ben and Jake taking, if they can get 4 to 5 each thrown up there, I'm okay with that.
I understand the sentiment of people that write about the team or fans of the team that they're okay with Z and Tommy shooting threes. You got bigs that can shoot. I get it. Boy, does that drive me insane, though, sometimes, man. When they're not – it's great when they're falling. It's great when they're falling, but you take your 7-footer away from the rim.
Yeah, but that's who we are.
Well,
that's who we are.
And that is the circle of life in this conversation, right? That's the circle of are we winning or getting beat on the boards, or who's winning the rebound battle, and where are the bigs in the court? I'm not saying. I'm just saying, as a wise man once said.
No, I totally get that. It's definitely a new day and age of college basketball when you look at the positionless basketball where everybody on the floor can do a little bit of everything.
Great way of putting it, Evan.
We're such a great rebounding team. I don't necessarily need my 7-footer down there under the hoop.
Shout out to...
I want him doing what he's doing best.
Fair enough. Shout out to Heath on the text line, by the way. He says 7 of 12 is 58.3%. So just go ahead and round that up to 60.
So you round that up. We're at 60%.
60. Yeah.
I'm a big rounder-upper.
Yeah, we're good at rounding up. Let's do some Illini headlines. And let's talk a little football. 3 Illini will take part in the 2026 NFL Combine. It just started today in Indianapolis. In fact, Gabe Akis met with the media earlier today. He will have his first workout tomorrow at 1 o'clock. Luke Altmaier meets with the media on Friday morning at 9:30. J.C. Davis will do the same on Saturday at 10:30. Altmaier works out Saturday at noon, and Sunday is Davis's workout. We're going to be talking with Brian Teague from Chicago State of Mind Sports. He's going to be at the Combine with updates for us tomorrow. Live coverage from the Combine starts at 2 o'clock tomorrow and lasts until 4 p.m. on Sunday afternoon. Illinois baseball, now 3-4 on the year, returns to the field this afternoon. In fact, just got started with Lindenwood. The Illini and the Lions squaring off for just the second time in series history, the first time since 2015. And Illinois men's tennis has added a match Friday afternoon against Illinois State. It's an in-state non-conference game, 12:30 at the Atkins Center. And the Illini will also play their previously scheduled match against number 8 Baylor later in the day this Friday at 5 o'clock, and admission is free to both matches of the doubleheader. Those are your Illini headlines on the drive. I condensed that. Did you see that? And
that was
the music's still going.
Well, I mean, it just lined up really nicely.
Yeah, it's like I really thought about that one. You know,
so that was good. I'm proud of you.
Thank you. I appreciate that very, very much. You feeling better about your math now?
Well, yeah, and I'm just still going back. Let's see, Maryland game.
Oh, you're really digging in right now.
Well, they went combined 6 for 10. 6 for 10. And what is that, ladies and gentlemen?
It's like 60 out of 100, Evan Stone. Heath, don't bother texting in. We got that one, buddy.
6 out of 10. That's 60%. Now, Z also went 0 for 0 in that game, so he didn't shoot a 3.
Well, okay. Well, that's all right.
So, but it still counts because the 3 of them went 60%. So, yeah.
You're hung up on it, man. But you got that one right.
I was already there.
It's almost like me with Etched in Stone yesterday, filling in for you.
Yeah. Hey, how locked in are you on NFL draft, combine? Are you getting excited, or do you care about that stuff at all?
I'll watch. This is what I always do with the combine. I will watch, but I don't get like super amped, and it's one of those things where this Saturday morning I'm going to wake up. I know my kiddos have got their basketball games that day, but I'm going to be like, how much time till we got to get to the gym? I'm going to go see what Altmaier's doing right now. I'm going to go turn it on. Let's see how the young men in their gym shorts are doing running around Indianapolis at Lucas Oil Stadium.
Yeah.
How about you?
I don't know how excited I'd necessarily get for combine stuff, just because it's like, okay, it is a little bit of useless gymnastics, it feels like most of the time.
Yeah.
I don't really need to know. Those are the things that I don't need to watch in real time. I am really excited to see the results.
Yeah.
So I can just pop up on the NFL website or whatever and see.
Check out the numbers.
Oh, Mesidor, his arms are this long. Oh, that's pretty nice. Okay, I don't need to watch them measure his arms.
Stretch your arms, kid.
Yeah.
The world is watching.
But I think what's more exciting is when you get on the back end of the combine, you really start to get a good idea of what teams are looking for and who fits where a little bit better.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when I'll start cranking out some mock drafts of this is what's going to happen.
The only year I ever got locked in, like I was locked in for the combine, was Jimmy Garoppolo's rookie year, coming out of EIU, and I had the opportunity to get to interview Jimmy several times at a previous radio station, and just a good kid, and so I was like, that's our guy. That's an EIU guy going and doing his thing. And you could see him as the combine went along, him outperforming some of these other quarterbacks at that time that were supposed to get drafted a little bit higher than him. So that was a cool one where I was like, that's our dude. And maybe I'll be like that with Altmaier this week. We'll see. Probably will, as long as it's on.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm excited. There's some good stuff coming up. But I can't wait to get into full mock draft season.
I did my first mock draft yesterday before the show started.
Oh, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
What did you remember who you had the Bears taking?
Oh, gosh.
At 25?
D-tackle. No, I can't remember which D-tackle it was.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of the edge guys are going to be gone.
Yeah.
At that point.
Didn't get an edge rusher. It was a Clemson guy, edge rusher, that I got in the third round. And if you say the name, I'll be like, yep, that's it. I should have saved it. But I'm going to do. But this was mindless. This was like I'm waiting to see if the text line was okay, kind of thing. And just
going through it.
Yeah, I was like, this will help kill some time. I've already got my show ready. Hey, I got one more thing for you.
Oh yeah.
You ready? It's been a few days since we did this. Doc.
Curtis's curveballs.
All right, lock in with me. This is going to be stuff that's going to stimulate your brain.
Okay.
All right. Are you familiar with whales, Evan Stone?
I was on Team Orca in 6th grade.
There you go. Okay, well, you'll appreciate this one. Researchers say that blue whales need to eat the equivalent of 80,000 Big Macs every day.
Oh, my gosh.
How many Big Macs have you had this year?
0 so far.
You know they got it's not a Big Mac, but it's like their double quarter pounder made like a Big Mac. I don't know what the McDonald's. Yeah. Oh, yeah, buddy.
Okay, all right.
We'll see. That could be a thing. I don't know. We'll try that one. Anyways, research shows that we feel as if our thirst has been quenched faster when we drink carbonated drinks. Can you believe that?
Wait, so carbonated drinks quench your thirst faster?
Makes our brain feel that way, which is why, I got to get through 3 cases of beer before I'm feeling really just...
Gotcha.
Feeling good.
So hydration is a placebo effect. It's a mental trick.
It's a mental thing, really.
Yeah, I knew it.
Yeah, that's really what we're going here. This one came out, it came out last week, but I just saw it today, so I had to share this one with you. Police in India launched a search for an inmate who escaped from a hospital where he was being treated after he had swallowed 2 pens. He was found hours later and returned to the hospital under heavy guard to have the pens removed.
Oh.
Guess which end they had to remove the pens from?
I don't want to
There you go. And finally, here's one that came out of the Olympics. You might have already seen this one. Did you see the one about the guy in Italy that was obsessed with doorknobs? This is a story that was going around during the Olympics last week.
No, I did not.
A man in Italy who claimed he was obsessed with doorknobs got prison time for a burglary spree in which dozens of them were taken from construction sites, along with tools and other materials. He was attempting at one point when they were building stuff for the Olympics. This is where police caught on to him. He was trying to steal stuff from one of the sites in Milan, and he got busted.
I love that it
doorknob?
says,
What doorknob was he trying to steal in Milan, though?
I don't know, but I love that it says claims to be obsessed with doorknobs.
Why would you steal all these doorknobs? Why would you make that claim? That's a good one. I did see one other thing I wanted to ask you before we get to news, and you don't have to answer this one right now, but just think about it. If you had a warning label, if people came with warning labels, what would yours say, Evan Stone? Warning, this is Evan.
Warning.
Blank.
Might need to do extra to keep his attention.
Anything else?
Warning. Likes hugs.
Okay. What about has strong feelings about Tom Izzo? Can we go with that?
No. I have strong feelings about the strong feelings other people have about Tom Izzo. I think that's it.
Maybe that's not a warning then. Any other warnings?
No.
What would your warning be? If you, Lindy, or you, Marion Camargo, or John and Camargo, or Heath, or whomever on the text line, if you came with a warning, what would it say? Let us know at 217-359-2255. Carson Bounds from Orange and Blue News on the way in the next half hour. Also, we'll do Etched in Stone with the OG of Etched in Stone. Evan will get his throne back. I was just merely filling in.
I don't know if it's a throne.
We'll find out. News is now on the drive.
Democrats call it snake oil on Lisa Brady, Fox News, and they're predicting the American people won't buy what President Trump is selling after the State of the Union address.
Families don't need a 2-hour speech. They need relief at the checkout counter, especially a speech that hardly mentioned any solutions for the American people.
Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer as House Democrats hold a Virginia retreat on midterm strategy, hammering the president's policies and poll numbers. But Vice President J.D. Vance says Democrats don't offer solutions.
We inherited a mess. Our ask to the American people is let us continue to fix this mess, make your life better. That's what the president is prioritizing, and that's what we're going to keep doing.
Also telling Fox there's momentum from the president's economic agenda, even if there's an uphill push temporarily. Vance, who's also now leading a fraud crackdown in the U.S., says the administration is pausing some Medicaid funding to Minnesota because of fraud concerns. Surgeon General nominee and wellness influencer Casey Means is tested at a Senate confirmation hearing.
Louisiana Republican Senator Bill Cassidy asked if she believed vaccines cause autism. She said she supports vaccines and believes they save lives.
Until we have a clear understanding of why kids are developing this at higher rates, I think we should not leave any stones unturned.
There's been a lot of evidence showing that they're not implicated. Do you not accept that evidence?
I do accept that evidence. I also think that science is never settled.
She said HHS is currently studying cumulative effects of many environmental exposures that may contribute to autism and that she looks forward to seeing those results.
Fox's Jessica Rosenthal. A deadly shootout reported off the coast of Cuba. The Interior Ministry says the Cuban Coast Guard was approaching a Florida-registered speedboat to identify who was on it when someone on the boat opened fire, wounding the Cuban captain. The soldiers fired then, killing 4 people on the speedboat, wounding 6 others. No word on their nationalities. America is listening to Fox News.
Let's go! You're still grooving, still connecting, still loving, still turning up, still thriving. You still got it, but your immune system, it weakens as you age. That's where vaccines come in. They help train and strengthen your immune response to fight off respiratory illnesses like flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, or COVID-19. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Book in minutes at VaxAssist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Here's a tale of Tina searching up and down for decent GLP-1s, but got spun around.
Tell Good RX Rodin, hey, we got something new. GLP-1 prescriptions, all FDA approved.
Brand name meds, no flags that are red.
Clear pricing from the start. None of those hidden fees in your cart.
Delivered to your door or pick up same day. Darn tootin'.
Save time and money on prescriptions.
I put it to goodrx.com/weight loss. GoodRx is not insurance.
2 Trump envoys due in Geneva tomorrow for a 3rd round of nuclear talks with Iran, even as a U.S. military buildup continues in the Middle East, along with more sanctions.
That action by the U.S. marks an addition to the maximum pressure campaign already in place against the Iranian government. The new round of sanctions hits more than 30 entities, including people, vessels, and companies. Sanctions are imposed by the Treasury Department's Office of Foreign Assets Control. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent said the pressure campaign continues to target Iran's weapons capabilities and support for terrorism. Iran has rejected President Trump's claim that it's trying to revive its nuclear program and has reportedly promised to respond if the U.S. conducts even a limited strike on the country. Gernal Scott, Fox News.
NASA's Artemis moon rocket making a slow-motion 4-mile trek from the launch pad back to the hangar for more repairs.
The 322-foot-tall rocket had spent a month on its launch pad at Kennedy Space Center in Florida. The decision was made over the weekend to bring it back in to fix a blockage in the flow of helium in its upper stage. The Artemis 2 mission, a 10-day trip around the moon, is now delayed at least another month until April 1st. It had already been delayed a month by hydrogen fuel leaks. The 4-astronaut crew, 3 Americans and a Canadian, was at the Capitol for President Trump's State of the Union address, since the flight delays means they no longer need to quarantine for now.
Fox's Chris Foster. The latest nominees for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame are another wide-ranging group. From Mariah Carey and Shakira to Phil Collins, Jeff Buckley, Iron Maiden, Billy Idol, and Wu-Tang Clan. The 17 nominees spanning just about every genre, also including INXS, New Order, Pink, Oasis, and Luther Vandross. 10 are first-time nominees. We find out who makes it in April. I'm Lisa Brady. This is Fox News.
Drive in, drive out. Recycling's what Max is all about. You can make some cash and do your share. We make it really simple because we care. It doesn't matter large or small. Our friendly staff will handle it all. Starting it over is what we do at Max Twin City Recycling.
Jackson Hewitt knows taxes are complicated, and with multiple jobs and tax forms, they're like Sonata complicated. Our no surprise pricing keeps things simple. Jackson Hewitt does your taxes for only $149 or less. And since we know all the new tax codes, you could get thousands back. So what are you waiting for? Hurry. File with Jackson Hewitt today for only $149 or less, guaranteed. Limited time offer for new clients on federal returns. Participating locations only. Terms at jacksonhewitt.com/149.
When sewer or septic trouble hits, visit Berg Sewer and Septic. Family-owned and proudly serving Central Illinois, Berg specializes in sewer repair, septic service, water line repairs, sump pumps, and drainage solutions. They don't upsell. They solve the problem right the first time. From backups to breakdowns, count on Central Illinois' most trusted septic service. Berg Sewer and Septic. Dependable, honest, local. Get a second opinion you can trust. Visit bergtanksinc.com.
There is one name you need to know in car repair in the Central Illinois area, and that's John Marshall. John is the owner of PDR Automotive in Urbana and makes it his mission to know that your car will start when you come to pick it up. John strives for a repair in the most efficient time possible and is the right person to take care of your car. From tires to engine to electrical to the simple oil change. Trust in John at PDR. 1008 North Cunningham in Urbana. John's team will take care of you like family.
Looking for the perfect pair of boots? Come on down to Pard's Western Shop in Urbana. With an amazing selection that fits every style, Pard's has the perfect pair waiting for you the next time you're hitting the rodeo or stepping out in style. They've got great deals and sale prices on men's cowboy boots, girls' cowgirl boots, and kids' boots. And their friendly staff will make sure you leave with the boots you love. Pard's Western Shop, serving its customers with high-quality merchandise since 1968. Go see them today at 306 North Maple Street in Urbana.
Drive with Curtis Allen and Evan Stone on ESPN 93.5.
We're going to do some etched in stone. Now, I know this is normally Evan's bit. Evan out today, but we still got to give the people what they want, and that is bad financial advice. Duke minus 17.5 at Notre Dame. Give me it. Northwestern plus 9 at Indiana. I'm taking it. Michigan coming off of a tough loss. Heartbreaker. Getting ready to come to Champaign, but before that, they got the Gophers tonight at home. Minus 22.5. Epic beatdown in store for the Minnesota Gophers tonight, my friend. And the last one, I go with 4 instead of 5 like Evan. I'm going 4. 4 Horsemen. Woo! Ric Flair. Do you know who Ric Flair is?
Yeah.
Okay, just check it. Woo! And the last one, USC at UCLA. USC plus 6.5. Those are my bets. So I went 2-2.
2-2.
That's not bad, right? That's not bad.
No.
ESPN Radio 93.5. It is The Drive. I'm Curtis Allen. That is Evan Stone. Evan back in the studio, and we'll do some etched in stone a little bit later on in the hour.
Yeah, I got some plays.
But hey, I was on fire at first. I started out 2-0.
That's the worst.
And then I was like, I'm doing great. And then I went to bed. And then I was 500 when I woke up today.
Yeah, there's been multiple nights where I start out 3-0 or whatever, and you're like, all right, and you end up 3-4. And you're like, what the heck?
Yeah, why did that happen?
What in the world?
Yeah.
Get out while you can.
I feel like though, while this has been a math-heavy show, we've gotten into statistics specifically around 60%. Hey, we're on fire with the guests, buddy. We're at 100% with our guests. Carson Bounds from Orange and Blue News, who covers the Illini, he's going to be joining us coming up in about 25 minutes and help us kind of turn the page and look ahead to the Michigan game on Friday night. Also, we'll talk a little NFL Combine with him. And also, we've had more than one person reach out and ask us when we're going to do some baseball talk, because 'tis the season for that very, very soon. And we're getting there. And if you listen for some of the spring training games, we are covering some of those for the Cardinals here on ESPN 93.5. Still the flagship, obviously. And we've got some interviews on the way with different reporters that cover the Cardinals from the St. Louis Post-Dispatch and other members of the media that are close to the team. So looking forward to diving into some of that. But you just said you saw an article about, was this on ESPN.com or where was this?
Yeah, it's ESPN.com.
Mm-hmm.
Bradford Doolittle.
That was my nickname in high school.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Half of that was mine. So he came out, he ranked the 30 MLB lineups as we enter spring training from best to worst. Okay?
Okay.
So you got all 30 teams here. And I don't think number one is a surprise to anybody. It's the Dodgers.
Yeah.
And he's just like, hey. What's interesting is he gives grades for multiple different categories for a lineup. So they're hitting, their patience while in the batter's box, their power, base running, durability, their depth versus right-handed versus left-handed, how many stars they have, and how many holes they have.
Wow.
So stars is somebody who I believe is in the top 10 of batting something.
At their particular position or in the league?
Yeah, hold on. It's at the bottom.
It's always at the bottom. Put
the parameters go all the way down.
Put the parameters at the top.
Okay, here we go. Stars, batting order slots projected to land in the top 10 based on weighted runs created.
Ooh.
Holes, batting order slots projected to land in the bottom 10 based on weighted runs created. Okay, so that's stars and holes. So you got the Dodgers at number 1. Nobody's going to argue that. You got the Braves at number 2.
Interesting. Not going to argue against it, but interesting.
No. You've got the New York Mets, who've made some big moves this offseason.
They keep making moves. That's what they've been doing for 2 years now.
They're bringing in Juan Soto, and so they're at number 3. You've got the Seattle Mariners at number 4.
I really wanted them to get to the series just for the Ken Griffey Jr. moment, because you know it would happen. But go on.
Right. Little payroll team right there.
Yeah.
Making it into the top 5. And then Toronto's at number 5.
The Canadians. Okay. Yes.
Let me give you a shocker at who's number 6. The 6th best lineup.
Ooh, I don't know. Hit me with it.
Now, this is all batting and not necessarily fielding.
Okay.
Right?
This is all bats. No pitching?
No pitching.
Okay.
Bats.
All right.
The Oakland Athletics.
Really? That is a shocker.
At 6th. And then coming in at number 7 is the Chicago Cubs.
Well, there you go. If you're a Cubs fan, you've won the offseason.
You didn't even make the podium.
You've won. No, you've won.
Place.
Wait, did you name anybody in the Central?
No, you're top of the Central,
that's
baby.
it. The Cubs have won the NL Central already.
Stop the count.
There you go.
Stop the count.
Hey, by the way, Lindy corrected you. That's the Vegas A's, buddy, that you're talking about. That's what. Thank you, Lindy, on the text line.
You. That's why you're here. The Cubs get hitting. They get a C. Patience, they get a C. Power, they get C+. Those feel harsh. Base running, C+. Durability, A. Their depth is an A-.
There you go.
Versus right-handed pitchers, a C+, left-handed, B-. They got 5 stars and 2 holes.
So this is what I'm taking from this article in regards to the Cubs. Mediocre, but boy, they can be mediocre all night long, baby.
They've got depth. Then you get down to number 15, and that's where Milwaukee comes in. And as I'm looking at the grades, it's hard to understand how they're so much lower. They've got A hit. Oh, well, that's why. D patience, F power. But B base running, B durability, B depth, C against righty, C against lefty, 3 stars, 1 hole. And then
keep your mind out of the gutter, would you?
What are you talking about? I'm trying to get down to the Cardinals. Well, then you get the NL Central. You get 23 is Pittsburgh, 24 Cincinnati, and then 25 is the St. Louis Cardinals.
Give me the numbers. Give me the letters, the grades for the Redbirds.
They are grading the Cardinals. Well, here, I think this is very important. They say it's a very young and unproven lineup. You might have to go back decades to find a St. Louis lineup with such a short collective track record. But if Weatherholt, that's J.J. Weatherholt, becomes what the Cardinals hope he can become, we might look at this transitional lineup as the beginning of something truly interesting. So they are getting a C- for hitting, C for patience, D for power, B for base running, durability, C, depth, B+, interesting. Right-handed versus right-handed, D versus left, D-, 3 stars, 2 holes. So I'm going to guess the stars are Mason Wynn, JJ. Would you go Lars or would you go?
Would you put Jordan on there?
Or Jordan Walker?
Mm-hmm. I know he's been rather disappointing, or he was last year.
Interesting, yeah. I
wonder if it'd be Jordan Walker.
They don't note who they think the star or who they think the hole is going to be. That's something that I feel like they should put on there. There you go.
I like that the texts are rolling in. Benny on the text line, the Dodgers are going to repeat, and the Reds and the Tigers will make the playoffs. There's Benny's prediction already here on February 25th. All right, Benny, we're going to etch it in stone. Let me play the etched in stone for Benny there. I would bet that these results, you didn't know it does that, did you?
There's a drill there.
You didn't know that. You've never heard the drill before. Normally I play the music with it. I'm going to bet that these grades are going to look much, much different come, say, August or September.
Oh, of course.
There's going to be much difference.
Always.
Like, what idiot said this Cardinals team couldn't win? Somebody's gonna have that. No, they're young and they're unproven, and sometimes that's what makes a team dangerous.
Yeah.
You don't know that you're not supposed to win, kind of thing. If you're,
it feels like
we'll see.
When you've got a roster like the Cardinals, we're young and whatever. It feels like one of two things could happen.
Mm-hmm.
You either come out of the gate crazy hot.
Sure.
Because of like what you just said. But then the discipline to keep it going as a young, unproven lineup, that becomes incredibly difficult.
Yeah.
And you begin to fall off and taper as the season goes on. Or I feel like I guess third option, the wheels completely fall off and nothing ever good happens.
And you burn it to the ground.
But the other option is almost you start slow, but you hit a spot in the middle or a spot in the end where it really starts to gel and come together.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, maybe we can do this.
Well, that's the interesting thing, again, about young talent and coaching them up right and learning how to win at the big league level is you're going to make it's a team. The Cardinals are going to have a team that are going to make mistakes, but there is a grace period here, obviously, because you are rebuilding. I know that's still a dirty word for some people in sports, but it's a rebuild. But you do have a lot of young talent, unproven as they may be. So a lot to build with, and we'll see who's a part of the future and who's not a part of the future.
Well, this is the trick, because it's the same thing in the NFL.
Right.
Can you get your young stars experience and rotational value of being on the field without crushing their spirit?
There you go.
Because you see that all the time with, first-round quarterbacks, rookie quarterbacks that come in, and it's like, okay, they've got all the talent in the world, but you're putting them on a team that's going to get them killed week in and week out.
Well, when we're talking about young talent and hitters, you got to get reps, right? You got to get reps, but you don't want to break them mentally where the slump feels like it goes on forever. That's why in a rebuild, it's always what really is winning for this franchise at this particular moment. Maybe it's not actual wins and losses, but maybe it's okay. Jordan Walker is hitting 300, whatever. I'm making this up off the top of my head, but I'm just saying this is a kid that was maligned last year, and here he is as a prominent piece going forward. That's something to think about for this particular year for Cardinals baseball.
Yeah.
217-359-2255. Heath on the text line. I would guess that Herrera is one of the other stars, not sure of the third. That's a fair point.
I think that's a miss. Herrera is absolutely one of the stars. I don't know who would you pick? I don't know the Cardinals' batting depth well enough to really dive into this, because you look at Ivan, because my gut would then go, I know Mason's a star, but can he hit? Probably. He's more of a defensive midfielder, right?
What was the grade for depth? They got a B?
They got a B+.
B+, that's pretty darn good. Uh-huh.
So, Alec Burleson. Here's their lineup, all right? Here's what they've got as their projected base lineup. Lars, Ivan Herrera, Alec Burleson, Nolan Gorman, Mason Wynn, J.J. Weatherholt, Jordan Walker, Pedro. How we say it wrong?
Say it wrong.
It's not Pages. Pages.
Pages.
That's what I'm going to go with. Victor Scott the second. So, that's a young, inexperienced lineup that is coming up. And I'm not sure who you would look at as your 3 stars, but maybe more interesting, who's your 2 holes? Who are you jumping out right away? Victor Scott. Hole.
Not Lars, because his name's too cool to be a hole. 217-359-2255. Carson Bounds from Orange and Blue News on the way. And if you missed this earlier, I asked this question right before the start of the hour. I said, if you, as a person, came with a warning label, what would it say? And Stephen St. Joe said, Steve, warning, party in progress. That's a good one. Our guy Jay Money in Champaign, warning, not warny. Stop it. That's not where I was going with this. That has nothing to do with Jay.
I'm not saying anything.
Warning, toxic in relationships. Warning, he's a workaholic and a warny guy. What about you? 217-359-2255. That is the number for the Max Twin City Recycling text line. Maybe you wouldn't have a warning at all. Maybe you wouldn't come with a warning label, Evan Stone. Maybe it would come with something like this. Okay, hear me out. Maybe your warning label says needs help financially. Think that could be a warning label somebody might have?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Well, if that is your warning label, good news. Our friends at Busey can help you out. And as the needs of customers grow, Busey continues to expand its digital footprint, allowing you to bank when and how you want to eliminate that warning label for you. Whether it's personal or business banking, opening an account, or requesting an appointment, you can do it all from the convenience of home, and that includes using the Busey mobile app. You can deposit checks, provide travel plans, you can analyze your spending habits, check your balances, view transactions, transfer funds, pay bills, much, much more. Just download from the App Store or Google Play. Search for Busey mobile app. You can also open an online account as well. Save a trip to the bank and apply for a new checking or savings account at go.busey.com. You can request an appointment through the app or on the website as well. If you've got questions about how to bank from the comfort and safety of your home and eliminate the warning label, Busey's here to help. Call them 1-800-67-BUSEY. That's 1-800-67-BUSEY, B-U-S-E-Y. Busey, member FDIC, equal housing lender, and we thank Busey for being a sponsor of The Drive. Carson Bounds from Orange and Blue News on the way in just a few. And it looked like you had one more. Was there am I misjudging? You had one thing.
No, one thing, because I meant to bring this up earlier, but I forgot. The first big name from Chicago Bears of kind of what they're looking at and getting a peek behind the curtain.
Yep.
They've granted linebacker Tremaine Edmonds permission to seek a trade, which I think goes ahead and shows you that he's probably not in the plans moving forward. If he becomes a cap casualty through trade or release, he creates $15 million in salary cap space for Chicago.
And he's also not owed any guaranteed money. That's another reason he's most likely out of town. So we'll talk plenty more Bears stuff as well on the show, maybe a little bit later on in the hour. Definitely tomorrow with Brian Teague from Chicago State of Mind Sports. Up next, Carson Bounds from Orange and Blue News. It's The Drive.
So we like talking Gale Frericks Trucking and Dedicated Diesel, the two businesses you guys run. So talk to me about Gale Frericks Trucking. Why do your drivers like driving for you?
I think because we care about them getting home and having a home life, as well as making money, and that they're allowed to be safe.
How about dedicated diesel? Who should know about that?
Oh, anybody with a truck or trailer that they work with. We're open now for federal inspections. We can do those. Dedicated diesel, I've got a couple of great new guys in there. And Melissa's helping on the front end. And I just couldn't be happier with the way things have progressed and the improvements that we've made.
Well, thank you for putting trucks out there that are safe, and you have drivers that are trained up and experienced.
And keeping the rigs up when it comes to those safety stickers with that safety lane service.
Yeah, every month we have a list of annual inspections that Donna puts out to the guys at Dedicated Diesel, and they have to get those inspections done.
That's Dedicated Diesel and Gale Flerix Trucking with Tim Onstadt. Good work. Ellen Hook, Ashley Furniture, President's Day sale. You'll love it. You'll love the energy, and maybe you'll win.
We're going to give away a Tempur-Pedic mattress.
I can't believe you're doing a Tempur-Pedic.
It is our most popular model, but it's a Queen Lux Adapt Tempur-Pedic, and the features I could go on and on about, but if you come in and try it out, you'll see for yourself. Feels great. Sleep is good.
If you get the elevating kind, you decide to buy one that brings you up. Lift gives you a little less snoring.
Less snoring.
Which is
One of our
huge.
bases is so cool, it automatically adjusts as it senses your snoring. It's called a Smart Base, and we're giving one away. So when you purchase the Queen Tempur-Pedic mattress, you're going to get a free queen size adjustable base. So
That
it's,
hears the snoring and elevates.
it does. It senses it, and it also syncs up with your TV. So like it's an audio experience. It's a smart base. It's like incredible. The technology is off the charts. You know, for 0% for 60 months, we're not worried about that.
That's quite an offer. Ellen Hook, nice to see you. When is all this happening?
Right now, we are going to end up extending that sale till I think March 3rd.
Wouldn't it be nice to visit a car dealership where you didn't feel like you were at an auction? Or didn't feel like you were being taken to the cleaners?
I'm going to make him an offer he can't refuse.
Welcome to Sarah Champagne. At Sarah, they offer a one-price promise. Every vehicle at a fair price, no negotiation, only the best price. Sarah Champagne, Honda, BMW, GMC, Buick, and Subaru. SERRA Champagne.com.
Within the cities we call home, Busey Bank is more than a name. It's a commitment to your dreams. With Busey, trusted guidance is tailored to empower you every step of the way. Whether it's seamlessly managing your finances or planning for your future, Busey is dedicated to your financial success. Busey Bank, building business, growing wealth since 1868. Member FDIC.
The Drive with Curtis Allen and Evan Stone on ESPN 93.5.
Welcome back into the Drive on ESPN Radio 93.5. I'm Curtis Allen. That is Evan Stone. And if you have a warning label that represents you, keep sending those in to us at 217-359-2255. We're having some fun with those. Justin says, warning, drinking beer. In your face, Evan Stone. I guess that's not really in your face. I don't know if I needed to take it there.
More like a challenge.
Yes, challenge accepted. Our next guest, I don't think he has any warning labels. We'll find out. We'll find out right now. From Orange and Blue News, he does a great job covering the Illini. Carson Bounds is on the Dick Van Dyke Appliance World phone line with us. Carson, how are you today, man?
Doing great, man. Thanks for having me.
Great to have you on. So do you have any warning labels that would come with Carson? Is there a thing that people should know right away?
Oh, man. I'm a screenager, so I'd say, warning. Make sure he's not looking at his phone before you talk to him, because I'm always on Twitter.
That's fair. That is fair. Well, and you've got a great following on Twitter, like right around 14,000 followers. And
what?
Yeah, he's got if you were to take my followers and multiply it by 2 and then by 10, I think I'd have the same as what he's got. But anyways, well, Carson, you're with Orange and Blue News, so I know you have been locked into this Illini basketball team all season long. And we are sort of turning the page on Saturday. We can't live in that loss forever, but what did you see Saturday night that either gives you pause or concern about the upcoming game against Michigan, or maybe on the flip side of that, maybe there's some positives that people aren't thinking about?
Yeah, for certain. I think one thing that I'm looking at is it's got to be the defensive side of the ball, right? You feel great about how the offense has looked all year at this point, but when you're looking at defense, what concerns me, and it's been a running theme all year, is opposing teams, especially guards, kind of outperforming their standard performances when they go up against Illinois. And it's kind of odd because a Kylan Boswell, for example, is probably one of your best defenders on the team, like consistently game to game. But at times, I'd say the connectivity of this team is almost too good in the sense that they're too trusting of each other. When it comes to help defense, there are times, when I went back and rewatched that UCLA loss, Donovan Dent, if he got past Kylan Boswell, Kylan was a little too trusting to just let, whether it's him driving to the mid post or even driving to the basket, he was just fully trusting to let his help defenders, try to make up space and, guard him. And, like Zvonimir Ivicic is a great shot blocker, but can he move laterally with the Donovan Dent? No. And, that opens up the offense for the other team a lot. And so one thing I'm kind of looking to see more of here as we move forward is I would love to see a Kylan Boswell, for example, maybe be a little more selfish at times to defense and say, hey, this is my guy, and just completely stick with him. That might change a little bit of how they call the defense, but I think in games where the other team has a star player capable of lighting you up, you have to run that. Now, for the Michigan matchup, I don't know if that's necessarily something you're going to see, because I think their best players are probably more of their wings and bigs than, like Elliot Cato is a good player, but I don't think he's going to be the reason we lose to Michigan.
Yeah, I was thinking through that as we've been talking a lot, obviously, about Illinois-Michigan. It's the game of the year so far, Friday night at the State Farm Center. What do you think Illinois does well? We've talked so much about what do we need to do against Michigan and how do we need to, control certain aspects against Michigan. What does Illinois do well that Michigan is probably looking on the reverse side of oh my gosh, we got to look at this for Illinois?
Yeah, I think one thing that Illinois has done well on the defensive side of the ball all year, and this actually does bring in like a Zvonimir Ivicic, is they have guys where they alter shots in the paint. They make it very tough for teams to score in the paint. The one kind of flaw we've seen there this year has been in transition defense. There's been teams who have gotten a lot of buckets in transition in the paint, but when it comes to having your defense set, there's really not a ton of easy shots you get inside the arc against Illinois. And so for Michigan, where you have, an Adai Mara or even like a Yaxel Lendeborg in the mid post, they're going to have a tough time getting a lot of easy looks against Illinois. Now, their perimeter shooting is also very good, and I think Illinois needs to kind of, find a way to slow them down there. But there's not a lot of easy shots that Illinois concedes, and the teams that do beat them, they have to make a ton of tough shots before the defense opens up and, lets the flood come in, as we saw against UCLA.
ESPN Radio 93.5, it is The Drive. I'm Curtis Allen. That is Evan Stone. Carson Bounds from Orange and Blue News is on the Dick Van Dyke Appliance World phone line with us right now. Carson, I know that there will be a ton of focus on Morez Johnson on Friday night, understandably so. But maybe I'm in the minority here. He doesn't feel like the guy you need to worry about beating you if you're Illinois. That, to me, falls to somebody like Lendeborg. Maybe I'm wrong in that aspect. Who would you say is the key cog overall for this Michigan offense?
Yeah, I think Yaxel Lendeborg is the obvious pick, just because at times this year, if Michigan has gone on dry spells scoring, it's been Lendeborg that has lifted them out of that and won them games. Mm-hmm. He's the go-to guy if you need to get a bucket. Now, I do think Morez Johnson, we can't undersell him either. He can't hurt Illinois, and it's not going to be him scoring 20 on us, probably, but it probably will be, offensive rebounds and just rebounding in general. Michigan is a team, if you give them, an additional 10 second chance points, or second chance attempts off of just, offensive rebounds, like that can swing the game. And so Morez Johnson, for the Illinois fans that followed him last year when he's on the team, fantastic rebounder. And I think rebounding is probably going to be the secret key to the game here, is one team controls the offensive glass and gets a bunch of extra second attempts, to make a shot. I feel, strongly that that'll probably be the way the game swings.
Yeah. Okay, so there's been a lot of talk about Orange Crush, about atmosphere in State Farm Center. I think if you're ever going to see something, come together, and if you're ever going to see it as loud as it could possibly be, it's going to be Friday night. Do you think some of that is overblown? Do you think there's some merit to it? What are you, as someone who's pretty close to it all, what are your thoughts in that whole conversation?
Yeah, great question. I mean, I am less than a year removed from being a member of Orange Crush myself. Before I was part of Illini Media, I was just a student. So, and I'm still in school, but all of undergrad I was part of Orange Crush. They've gone through a leadership transition in the last couple of years. I think the kids that are in charge now are actually doing a great job. Kil Rahman is the president of the organization, and he's a fantastic leader. But I think they need more leaders just organization-wide. They have probably 20 crush captains, and, they have maybe 5 kids that are, I'd say in charge and highly influential when it comes to game days. You probably need another, 10 or 15 kids that could be, just hold peers accountable, make sure kids are cheering. And they've taken steps in previous games to kind of move the ball forward, if you will. One thing that stood out to me was 2 home games ago, they were going around with a sign and that said, if you're not standing and cheering during key moments, like, you will be removed and put into the overflow section for Orange Crush. So the kids that were sitting courtside, in the main Crush section, there were a couple of kids that actually got removed because they just weren't standing and cheering. And, that's the kind of peer-on-peer accountability you need to promote if you're trying to get the Orange Crush to stay loud and be loud. Now, they have to do that consistently moving forward in order to, maybe make that a long-term cultural thing. But I love the changes they made so far.
I'm just picturing the Balkan cousins just with the cigarette and the track suits, and they're just staring at the Orange Crush, and that one right there, get him.
The kid in orange, get him to the top.
Get him out of here.
Well, Carson, that does bring up something I do want to ask you about. As someone who isn't that far removed from the Crush, do the people in charge, do those students, are they paying attention when, the other fans that aren't students or whatever, or even some folks in media like us are complaining about the Crush wasn't loud enough? Like, are they aware of any of that stuff being out there, or are they just kind of in their own world as students and as a student section?
It probably depends on the kid. I mean, I know some leadership within the Orange Crush is absolutely on Twitter. They definitely see what we discuss, and then also, internally there are the meetings as far as athletic department and people who are the sources of Crush funding. They all are they all have feedback mechanisms that get back to the Crush, and certainly they hear the criticism. And again, it's tough as a student-run organization. Everybody's a volunteer there, so it's tough to make long-term changes, especially when kids are elected on a single-year basis. But yeah, they're doing what they can. They certainly hear the criticism. I'm not going to say that they're perfect by any means, but certainly I think they're taking the steps that they're able to in the short term to try to address the simple solutions.
ESPN Radio 93.5, it is The Drive. I'm Curtis Allen. That is Evan Stone. Carson Bounds from Orange and Blue News, a part of the On3 network, is on the Dick Van Dyke Appliance World phone line with us.
So when we start looking towards March, we get Big Ten tournament, NCAA tournament. Obviously now you're looking at a 2, a 3 seed, hoping to hang on to that 2 seed. Other than, your first round opponent, your second round opponent, do you think for this team that 2-3 seed matters in a big way?
Honestly, no. I know that's probably not the popular take, but I'm a big analytics guy, and the analytics say whether you're a 2 or a 3 seed, one analytic metric I love to follow is called the trapezoid of excellence. It's essentially measuring your pace of play versus your efficiency outcomes per game, offensively and defensively. Essentially, teams that play really slow have to outscore teams by a wider margin, and same thing with playing really fast. And, Illinois has kind of always been hovering in that trapezoid of excellence, as one of the top 8 to 10 teams. And that trapezoid, typically, if you're doing a scatter plot of every team in the country, those top 8 to 10 teams, usually about 2/3 of them make the Sweet 16. So Illinois, I think, has been pacing as a Sweet 16 team. And, once you're in the Sweet 16, whether you're a 2 seed through a 4 seed even, you could beat just about anybody. On the right night.
Well, I'll tell you, Carson, trapezoid of excellence was my nickname in geometry class in high school. I don't know if you know that or
not.
Didn't see that one coming, did you, Evan Stone?
No.
Let's switch gears real quick, Carson. Are you locked in at all on the NFL Combine stuff that's going on, and Altmaier and Akis and Davis?
Certainly. I've been following it a little bit. I'm actually more of a football guy, so that's actually probably entirely my speed.
Awesome. Well, okay. What will you be? I have crack jokes, and I do every year about the Combine, about it's young men running around in gym shorts and that sort of thing. But are there any specifics that you're really paying attention to out of those 3 guys when it comes to the Combine?
Yeah, I could kind of cite back before I worked at Orange and Blue News. I was actually a student manager with football for my entire time here at Illinois. So I've had the privilege of watching them in practice over the last 3 to 4 years, depending on the kid.
Mm-hmm.
And Gabe is a guy that I'm looking at closely. You know, they do call it the Underwear Olympics for a reason. He's a kid. He came in as a true freshman and was, you know, at the top of the weight room as far as just competing and outlifting everybody. He's a kid. I think he'll go, and if he sits down on the bench press, he might rep out 25 reps on the bench, and he might run 0.2 or 0.3 seconds faster in the 40 than teams would expect. He's a kid. He moves incredibly well for his size. We didn't necessarily always put him in positions to display that at times last year, but I think for certain, you know, whether it's agility drills or just general bench pressing, I think Gabe's a kid that's going to shock some franchises when they get him in front of them and just see what he could do physically.
Well, I'll tell you, Carson, a regular guest of ours is a guy named Brian Teague from Chicago Sports State of Mind, and he went to the Senior Bowl in Mobile, and he couldn't wait to get on the show until he said, the quote was, Gabe Ackus made himself some money down here for this. So I am very interested in what he will do at the Combine this week. And, you know, he keeps impressing scouts to your point. He'll keep climbing up that draft board. Will you be at State Farm Center on Friday night? Are you doing any traveling for the Combine at all? What are you covering and what are you working on? Where can people check out your writings, I guess is what I should be asking you.
Yeah, of course. OrangeandBlueNews.com, Twitter at Carson Bounds. And yeah, I'll be at State Farm Center on Friday. Saturday, I'm looking at possibly going to Big Ten championships for track and field in Indianapolis, and then hopefully, you know, sometime sneaking over to the Combine as well, since that's also still in Indy. But yeah, looking forward to it. Illini track and field women's team is ranked number 1 in the nation right now. Men's team is top 15, and you know, I'd be looking at that as well. Illinois is pushing for a Big Ten title, you know, this weekend. So outside of the general football and basketball purview, be paying attention to that as well.
Absolutely, man. And I'm glad that you brought that up. And we try to mention all the other programs on the show, and it's a really cool time to be. If you're a fan of Illinois athletics, this is a really, really cool time. To that point, Carson, because there's a lot to be excited about, and it's not just football and basketball. So it's been a pleasure talking with you, man. Looking forward to seeing what you're working on next, and hopefully we'll be talking again real soon.
Of course. Thanks for having me.
All right. That is Carson Bounds from Orange and Blue News on the Dick Van Dyke Appliance World phone line. As Carson mentioned, you can find him on Twitter at Carson Bounds. 217-359-2255 is the number for the Max Twin City Recycling text line. Oh, our guy Lindy's got a warning for us, Evan Stone. He says, warning, filter optional.
Yeah, I believe that one.
We believe that one about you,
Yep.
Lindy. Yeah, we would agree with that one as well. Matt and Sydney, is there a way we, meaning the Illini, beat Michigan Friday and win the Big Ten tournament? Does that make us a 1 seed, Evan Stone? Beating Michigan, win the Big Ten tournament, do you think that Why? I wish I would have seen that question before we got off the phone with Carson, because that would have been a good one for him too.
If you beat Michigan, win out, and then win the Big Ten tournament?
I think he's just saying beat Michigan and win the Big Ten tournament. Can that make you a 1 seed?
No, you'd have to win out.
I think you got to win out, yeah.
And even then, it might you'd need one of the other guys, I think, to drop.
You're going to need a little help. Yep.
Yeah.
You're going to need a little help.
So
217-359-2255. Didn't mean to cut you off. I think did you have a?
Well, I was just going to say you have a really good resume, but at some point when those losses begin to pile up, and right now you've got, what are they at, 6?
Yeah.
It's hard to get back on that 1 seed line with 6 losses.
Yeah, it's true. One of the interesting things that Carson said in our conversation with him jumped out to me. Maybe it jumped out to you as well. He doesn't see a huge difference between a 2 and a 3.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
Honestly, I think the biggest thing about the 2 seed was the potential path through St. Louis.
That's what we're talking about. Yeah.
Other than that, if you're not going to be in St. Louis, then no, I don't necessarily see a difference between 2 and 3.
I don't even have it in front of me or know off the top of my head if they're a 3 what that route would look like for them. Do you know by chance? And if not, that's okay.
I don't off the top of my head. I know there's a route through Buffalo, I think. There's a route through Philadelphia, maybe.
Oh, well, that'd be good for Big Def then.
Well, there you go.
Our guy Big Def, would be there loud and proud. Buffalo, I could talk to Cousin Josh about maybe getting us some tickets and airfare out there. That would be okay, And then you could go visit Stony Brook while we're in the New York area. I know how much you like Stony Brook.
It's all coming up Millhouse. Let's go, baby.
We'll do some etched in stone in just a few, and we'll see if everything comes up Evan next on The Drive.
Maybe we should talk about the quality you get at Ashley Home Store, not just stylish, but quality.
We have one of the most amazing brands. We are quality first, and because we are the largest producer of furniture in North America, we have to produce at the highest standard. So we're quality checking everything, up to 300 pounds on all of our reclining furniture. I've been to the factory. I've seen how they do the quality testing, and it's pretty impressive. It's kind of furniture nerdy, but I think it's pretty fun to see how they go above and beyond. So the highest quality steel, they make their own foam, they make their own mattresses. It's the most vertically integrated furniture company in the world.
Do people understand when you go to Ashley Furniture the selection?
We have a lot of furniture. We don't even feature probably 50% of what's available by Ashley in our stores, but we have 40,000 square foot showrooms. And here in Champaign, we have one of our largest showrooms. So we have all the categories: living room, bedroom, dining, mattress, home office, kids, furniture, you name it. Our website is ashley.com.
Rescue workers face death every day, and far too often their families lose them while they're helping you on the road. When you see emergency lights flashing, you must slow down and move over to the far lane. That includes red, blue, and orange lights. If you hit someone on the road, you'll be charged with a felony. That means jail time. Help us keep our families safe when we're out helping yours. When the lights are flashing, use caution passing. Let's all go home safe tonight.
Brought to you by Tapman's Towing.
Are you tired of shivering in the winter? Look no further than your local heroes at ABC Heating and Air Conditioning. Hi, this is Gina inviting you to give us a call at 217-352-5400 to book your appointment to make sure your furnaces run safely and efficiently this winter. We've been proudly locally owned and operated and have been serving our community for over 50 years. ABC, always be comfortable. Call me 217-352-5400 to book your appointment today or go to abcheatingandac.com.
Football season is over, but there's still plenty to bet at Circus Sports. From pro to college basketball, hockey, and everything in between, Circus Sports has it all. Circus Sports isn't just sports betting, it's sports betting the way it should be. High betting limits, tight money line splits, and best of all, no bet fees. Whether you're looking for futures on March hoops, props on your favorite players, and more, Circus Sports has you covered. Download the Circus Sports app or visit circusports.com today. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Let your local Farmers Insurance agent Michael Rumsey put his experience to work for you. Michael Rumsey proudly serves Champaign County families and businesses and is ready to review your existing policies or provide a no-obligation quote today. Call Michael Rumsey at 217-363-3030 to get smarter about your insurance. Again, that's Michael Rumsey at 217-363-3030. We know a thing or two because we've seen a thing or two.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Underwritten by Farmers Truck Fire Insurance Exchanges and Affiliates. Products not available in every state.
The Drive with Curtis Allen and Evan Stone on ESPN 93.5.
The man is back in town. His name is Evan Stone. I did my best filling in for this segment yesterday. ESPN Radio 93.5. I'm Curtis Allen. There's Evan. We got to get the money. Are you ready to do Etched in Stone?
Yeah, you did a great job filling in. We didn't lose any money.
We didn't.
Which is an improvement for a lot of weeks.
Yeah. Well, we went 2-2.
So
that was good.
Yeah, as long as you're not losing money, you're doing all right.
No, that's fine. As long as you can get home and your house is still there, you know, they haven't changed the lock on you or something, you're good. That's fine.
You're doing okay.
You're doing all right in life.
Yeah. All right, a lot of games tonight.
Ton, yeah.
And a lot of different directions that you could go. First game, I want to look at Big East. Number 15, St. John's, headed to number 6, UConn tonight.
Oh, are you going to do it?
Nope. I'm getting really good. I stopped it.
Wait a minute.
No, you can't play anything if I didn't.
Okay, go ahead.
That's a false alarm. False alarm. St. John's visiting UConn. St. John's has struggled a little bit the last. I mean, they've been winning games, but man, they've been winning them close. And UConn on the flip side, I feel like they are ready to really jump back into that hopeful 1-seed contention.
True.
Which they've got to make up a lot of ground after losing to Creighton, which was impossible
Yeah, that's my fault. That one was mine.
So, going tonight, I'm going to go ahead and take UConn minus 5.5 against St. John's at home. I think they pull that one off. I think they jump back into one of those elite squad team conversations. So, UConn minus 5.5, etch it in stone.
There we go. The man is back. What are we doing next?
Maryland traveling out to Nebraska.
Ooh.
Nebraska's the 16.5-point favorite.
Yeah?
I think I like that number.
I'm not scared of it. I was about to say I'm not scared of that number. But.
I think I'm gonna take Nebraska minus 16.5.
Mm-hmm.
I think Maryland is kind of packed it in for the year. They're 11 and 16 right now. They're
not
having
a good team. Yeah.
It's a rough stretch. Nebraska is trying to reprove to people that they are who we thought they were at the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
I think they're going to want to pile this one on. So give me Nebraska at home, minus 16.5 against Maryland. Etch it in stone.
All right. Hit the hammer. Boom. Where are we going next?
Let's go to the creators of toothpaste.
We're going to Colgate?
Colgate, baby.
Please tell me they're taking on, like, the Stone Cold Stephen F. Austins.
No, they're in completely different conferences.
Well, so,
but,
a boy can dream. Go on.
Yeah, Colgate is taking on Lafayette.
Oh, Lafayette.
Lafayette.
Oh, we got
If
some
you've seen
Creole.
Hamilton.
Yes.
Have you?
Yeah, I saw it.
Live?
Live, no, but on
the old Plus?
I did see it on TV at home.
We went and saw it in Chicago 2 years ago.
Oh, that must be nice.
Oh, it was incredible.
How much were those tickets?
Actually,
yeah. What's it like?
not bad.
Yeah, I bet you bought those tickets with your gambling money, didn't you?
Listen, we're going to plead the fifth on what we bought tickets.
Bought your Hamilton tickets with your winnings from Etched in Stone, is what you did.
Anyways, Colgate is 8.5-point favorite against Lafayette.
Oh, Lafayette.
Give me Colgate minus 8.5. Lafayette's going down once again. No help coming from the United States of America. Etch it in stone.
We need money. Oh, the Creole gonna be bad tonight for Lafayette. See you later, Lafayette. You are the villain tonight, boy.
Okay.
All right, where are we going next?
Now, this team's hurt us a couple of games in a row.
Oh, no.
But we're going to keep with the ride.
Okay.
Mercer.
Oh, not the MRSA. It makes me itchy.
They're traveling over to Western Carolina. They're getting 1.5 points. I think they get off the schneid. They jump back on the right side of this. Give me Mercer minus 1.5. Etch it in stone.
Oh, this feels dirty, though, when we take Mercer.
No, it's healing.
Benny says take St. John's on the text line.
I know.
You and Benny are going head-to-head.
We're going to fight over it.
All right, where are we going next, sir?
Okay, we got East Carolina. Go Pirates.
Go Pirates. Caton Hauser's former school.
Yeah, and in honor of Caton Hauser.
Yes.
They're traveling to UTSA.
Oh, yeah. Well, UTSA, the airline. Yeah, I remember them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here, beep, beep.
Beep,
Roadrunners.
Yeah.
East Carolina is getting 4.5 points. UTSA is one of the worst teams in the country at covering. So give me East Carolina minus 4.5 at UTSA. Etch it in stone.
We need money. All right. Is that 5?
That is 5. Let me do a quick scroll here.
All right.
Let me do a quick scroll.
In case there's more you want to spend?
Yeah.
So you can get more Hamilton tickets?
There are a couple of games. Alabama hosting Mississippi State.
That's an intriguing one tonight.
Alabama's minus 14.5. I'm intrigued by that line. Colorado hosting Kansas State. Kansas State is pretty haphazard right now. Is that a word?
Yeah, it is. Haphazard's a word. Yeah.
Colorado's a 6.5-point favorite at home against Kansas State. Ohio State going to Iowa. Iowa 6.5-point favorites. 2 bubble teams.
That one's intriguing to me. That'll be a fun watch tonight. I think I am going to check that one out.
That'll be an interesting game. LSU going to Ole Miss. Nobody cares about that one except for me.
Yeah, just you. You and Uncle Lon.
Does Uncle Lon care about that one?
Well, he's down there right now.
Is he?
I think he's down
for baseball stuff.
Yeah, Andrew's pitching down there. I think
all right,
that's
last
where Lon's
one.
at. Yeah.
Wisconsin at Oregon.
Oh, okay.
Wisconsin is a 5.5-point favorite at Oregon. Oregon has been awful this year.
They've been pretty bad.
They've snuck up and bit a team or two, though. But
Duck-
they have been awful.
Will the Ducks bite the Beavers tonight? Yeah, I said it. That's what they are.
The Badgers?
No, what'd I say? Beavers?
Yeah.
We don't need no stinking Badgers. They're the Beavers.
Well, yeah, no, I'm going to take Wisconsin minus 5.5. Etch it in stone.
Oh, we're going to etch that one in stone? All right. So you're right, Beavers. Will the Ducks bite the Beavers?
All right.
That's going to be a part of tomorrow's intro, I guarantee that.
Citadel plays Furman tonight.
Oh, the Vermin from Furman.
I'm going to stay off this one, though.
No.
Furman's a 15.5-point favorite. We're gonna let that one ride
All
tonight.
right.
So we got UConn minus 5.5 against St. John's. Nebraska minus 16.5 against Maryland. Colgate minus 8.5 against. Oh, I'm taking all favorites today. I just realized.
Thank
minus
goodness.
8.5 against Lafayette. Mercer minus 1.5 against whoever the heck they're playing. East Carolina minus 4.5 against UTSA, and Wisconsin minus 5.5 against Oregon.
All right. That's etched in stone. We always try to get that up for you on the socials at The Drive 935 on Twitter and Instagram. Also on the ESPN 935 Facebook page. So give us a like and a follow there. Good stuff, man. Now, there was a text that rolled in. You mentioned off the air that you wanted to address. It goes back to the Illinois versus Michigan game and the discussion about Illinois and UCLA.
Well,
and I think it was from John in Camargo. You have that up?
Yeah, I do. He sent a really good text.
Yeah.
Just trying to. I think there was a little bit of
something lost in translation.
A little bit of miscommunication. I wasn't hoping that Z, Jake, and Ben each hit 60% of their threes. I was saying combined.
Combined. 60.
If the three of them combined can hit 60%, we're in a really good shape. Hopefully that changes a little bit of that conversation. But he said refraining, because John and Camargo's big thing was we got big, like, stop shooting so many threes.
Mm-hmm.
Just don't shoot so many threes. And then Big Def actually sent in a lot of good statistics that we don't have time to get into for today's show of how many threes you make versus how many twos you make and how many threes you have to make to equal out how many twos you're making.
Mm-hmm.
Good stuff. But John and Camargo says refraining from shooting a three doesn't mean it's a lost possession. It means you choose another option. As a collective, you have three of the better guards in college basketball. As a collective, you have three of the tallest front court players in college basketball at 7'2", 7'1", and 6'9". That is a powerful combination, especially when you add into that the fourth best free throw shooting team in the nation. You rarely, if ever, get fouled while shooting a three. I will say that is correct. I feel like this year, more than any other year in the past, I've seen more made 4-point plays.
It does feel that way.
Than I've ever seen before. I'm like, what is happening right now?
It does feel that way.
But the point still stands. You are correct. If we really, as a great free throw shooting team, we should be doing whatever we can trying to get to the line. What I will say is this, is you've got 7'2", 7'1", and 6'9". You've got one of the tallest front courts in college basketball, if not the tallest front court in college basketball. Here's the thing, though. That height doesn't really mean anything if they don't have a post move. Like, I don't necessarily right now want to see Z posting anyone up.
I'm with you.
Because he doesn't necessarily have a post move.
When I say I'm with you, I'm listening to the point. I'm with you.
Well, I think, Z does his best work standing in the corner, and now this would work to John and Camargo's point. What we've seen Z do his best work is when somebody can get penetration into the lane and then can ditch it off to a cutting Z for the alley-oop, or can kick it out to Z, who's sitting in the corner wide open. Now, you would like for him to hit those threes. He's on a bit of a cold streak right now. One of Tommy's best moves right now is the pick and pop with Keaton in that elbow three. Like, I want him taking that shot 10 out of 10 times.
Yeah.
Now, so it's one thing we've got in our mind of what college basketball looks like when you have a 7-footer. That's not what this team is. Tommy worked a lot in the offseason with post moves. I don't think he has more than a handful, and you can only work those so many times in a game. before all of a sudden you've got a 7'1", 7'2" post guy who's working against a 6'11" post guy that you think height should really matter there. But if you're out of post moves, that 6'11" guy can guard you pretty easily. So I think this offense, just the way that it works, is so much more movement. I also would love for them to drive to the hoop way more, mainly because of what you say. I want us to have 20-plus free throws a game. I think every game we should be shooting a ton of free throws just because of our ability to get to the hole, get to the paint.
Bingo. Yeah, you look at the backcourt between Keaton and Kylan, you've got two incredible guards. And Andre. Yeah, I don't want to leave out Dre. Those three guys get to the rim, man. And that's
those are the ones that I want taking the shots in the paint.
I hear you.
And then kicking it out. I don't need Jake down low. I don't need Ben down low. I don't need Z down low. Tommy can go down low if he needs to, but those are the guys that I want driving. We just don't have anyone on this team that is, I'm going to put my back to the hoop, I'm going to pin a guy deep down low, and I'm going to go get after it.
A year or so ago,